Have you been watching hundreds of competitive pistol shooting videos but haven't made it out to a competition yet? That's how I was until I finally shot my first one. My name is Lewis. I'm a beginner competitive pistol shooter, and I'm fresh off my first match. I watched dozens of videos about what to expect for your first competition, which were great, but they were from professional shooters or people who have done hundreds of matches. It didn't help me because I knew that they already knew what they were doing, and I didn't. So I'm making the video that I wish I could have seen before my first competition. Now, I don't want this to turn into a big gear video, but I will start out with the things that you absolutely need. You need a belt, a way to hold your firearm, and a way to hold your magazines. You also need a firearm and a bag to put your firearm in. You need ear protection, eye protection, and you need a bag to carry it all in. The reason the smaller pistol bag is so helpful is so you can carry your pistol to and from the safe table. The safe table is the only place you're allowed to handle your weapon outside of when you are actively shooting on the range. So those are the things you physically need to compete, and there's also some things I think mentally you need to compete as well. Number one, the ability to operate your weapon safely. The ability to follow direction. There are range commands that you need to follow very closely. You also need to help clean up and sticker the targets and pick up brass and whatever the match directors need help with. Everyone's involved in helping them create a smooth match for everybody. The last thing I think is important is a positive attitude. If you're a beginner, you're going to be nervous. You're going to want to do well. If you go in with the only expectation to have fun and be safe, there's no way that you can lose your first match. When I arrived, I made sure to get there plenty early to find a place to park, fill up my water bottle, and stage my bags in the designated area. Because I was there early, I could put my stuff away and help people set up if needed. When I first got there, I told the person in charge it was my first time and asked them where I needed to go. Letting people know it's your first time, I feel like takes the pressure off of you and lets people know that you are there to learn. As you've probably seen online, there's a number of stages that you'll run through, each with different rules and courses of fire. At each new stage, you'll get a brief of what you're supposed to do, how many targets, and how many times you're supposed to shoot each one. If you have any questions, ask. After that, you get a few minutes to preview the stage. It's important to walk through and verify that you know where every target is and how many times you're supposed to shoot it. What I did as well is during the transition movements, I made sure to practice on the transitions to keep the gun pointed downrange when I was moving and kind of how I would maneuver during my turn. And that's the number one important thing is the 180-degree rule. There's probably a dozen videos on it or more. All I'll say is you don't want to point the gun anywhere outside of your target area. If you're reloading, if you're running, if you're turning, the gun needs to be pointed forwards. No questions about it. You want to stay safe and you want to keep everyone else safe who's there with you. So ideally you won't be going first. I actually went second on my very first stage, which was kind of intimidating, but I watched one person go through it. I felt like I understood the course and just let it rip. So when you're up, number one thing is to just relax. Take a deep breath. You're not gonna win anything. Nothing's gonna happen. You just need to shoot your targets, keep the muzzle pointed downrange, keep your finger off the trigger when you're moving, and that's it. And it's totally okay to walk. I wanted to make sure I was safe over anything, so I basically walked my first stage. It took a minute to get through. For your first time, you should definitely be thinking of safety over performance. From my perspective, it's important for me to build those internal safety measures before I start thinking about my time or thinking about strategy or anything like that. It's all about safety. After you shot your first stage, I feel like a lot of the weight is lifted. You did it, it's fine. It's fun. Now you can have fun. Speed up your shooting a little bit. You don't have to though. Just shoot your stages the way that you need to. I want to build safe habits now so they're ingrained into me as I do increase the speed and shoot more and more competitions. Between stages, it's important to help out by either taping targets, resetting swingers, picking up brass, or, I doubt they're going to have you run the beeper or the iPad. Probably not going to do that. I think those are range officer spots anyways, so don't worry about that. When you're not shooting, you can ask other people for advice. If there's somebody who's been talking to you, kind of helping you, usually that's what'll happen is somebody will kind of take you under their wing for the day. At least that's what happened to me. I had a really nice guy actually let me borrow 2 magazines because I just didn't have enough capacity for the stage. But that's it. You don't need fancy gear. A lot of these things I purchased from Amazon to get the first my first belt, my first mag pouches to see what I was into. I will say it's important to buy a quality holster. I would not buy a holster off of Amazon. I'd buy from a reputable dealer. Mine is a T-Rex holster that I really like. There's a lot of options out there, but you want to spend some money on a decent holster. So find your nearest competition, sign up for a range day, sign up for a membership for one of these private shooting groups, and go compete. It's very fun. And also, if you are an experienced person, add anything in here that you think I missed. I'm just a beginner, and I'm trying to give my perspective as somebody who has just started. This is the first video on my channel, and I hope to document more and more of my matches and my progression from beginner to wherever I land. Thanks for watching.